Gentlemen, ladies, staff, my name is Jewett Walker, and I'm here today because somebody said something to me when I was young that changed my life. I had gotten 3 D's and 3 C's on my report card, and I thought I had done a great job. My aunt pointed out to me that D was below average, C was average, B was above average, and A was excellent. She said, I didn't come from a below average family. I didn't come from an average family. Therefore, as a member of that family, it was incumbent upon me to do better. I never forgot that. And she told me that when I was in the 9th grade. Never forgot that. Have taken it with me all the way through. But I'm here today to talk about 2 things. The first thing I want to talk about is the importance of the election process and why you should be involved in it. Many of us meaning black and browns, don't participate fully in the electoral system. That allows district attorneys to be elected who impact our lives and who set policy that the city council and the legislature sets policy that the district attorney and the police are then asked to monitor. What that means is that when you don't elect people, they can put things in place that affect you without you having any input. And then there's the district attorney. The district attorney is an elected position. The district attorney is the one who determines whether you are here in a treatment facility or at home. The district attorney is the one who determines whether you're charged with a misdemeanor or a felony. The district attorney is the one who decides how much your bail is going to be, whether it's going to be $1,000, $10,000, or $1 million. You are in a difficult situation as a minority when you go into the criminal justice system. There is implicit and overt bias against you. And yes, many things have been done in the state to help alleviate overcrowding, to help alleviate the mass incarceration. But the truth of the matter is, there's a reason that everybody in here looks like you and me. There's a reason for that. And the reason is that there are district attorneys who say that we have to do something about the problems that are occurring in that community. And so we're going to police our way out of it instead of bringing jobs and industries and doing something to break the school to prison pipeline. There's an issue on the ballot now to repeal the death penalty. If it loses, I want to tell you why. It will lose because a sheriff was killed in Lancaster, and when they showed the killer's face, he looked like me. There were 2 police officers killed in Palm Springs, and when they showed his face, he was Latino and looked like me. And when they show that picture on TV, I can guarantee you that every white person in America is saying, we gotta lock them up. This is why we don't let them out. They don't know how to act. And each one had been let out of jail early. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot. We keep stepping in doo-doo and wondering why we're stinking all the time. It's because we don't understand how to follow the rules. For some reason, we lack what's called social and emotional intelligence. I'm going to give you some data that you need to know about. When it comes to African American and brown students, we score at the bottom of math, reading, and language arts across all grade levels. From kindergarten through high school, we're at the bottom. It doesn't matter if you come from the barrio, the ghetto, a poor neighborhood. It doesn't matter if your parents are rich enough to live in Beverly Hills. If you are black and you are brown and you're sitting in the same classroom with an Asian and a white, you are the one who's going to score the lowest. It doesn't matter that all four of you got A's in the class. When it comes to the standardized test, the test that some white folk went in the back room and put together, we gonna fail it. This has been going on for 30 years. It has not changed. There's something wrong with that. Education is our only way out, but for some reason we don't believe it. We think that fighting is the way out. We think that shooting is the way out. We think that arguing is the way out. We think that crime is the way out, and it's not. Education is the only way out. And let me tell you why. Black and brown are the most suspended, the most expelled, the most pushed out, the most incarcerated as a percentage of their population. There's something wrong with that. When you can go to a school and African American students make up 10% of the student population, but 80% of the suspensions, something is wrong with that. And the 100 Black Men of Los Angeles says it has to stop. We have to do something about that. 20 years ago, it might have been 2 girls over there. The future says, based on the suspension rates that are occurring right now in our schools, that eventually it will be half and half in here. Because now that they've gotten all the males out, who's left? The minority females. Well, let's push them out. Let's get them out now. There's something wrong with that. Now, I'm not saying that the staff here is biased against you. I would dare say that they empathize with you and wish that they could do more. But the system that put you here happened before they were even hired. The system that put you here was the result of elected officials saying that we want laws that put young people who don't look like us in jail. There's something wrong with that. There's a reason that African Americans are shot disproportionately. Do you know that if your mother slaps you in the face and knocks you down, she can be arrested? Do you know if your father hits you in the chest and pushes you back, he can be arrested? But a police officer who asks you to put your hands up, to show you what you're doing, to stop moving and stop, he can shoot you, go home, eat with his wife, play with his kids, feed his dog, and sleep at night like nothing happened. There's something wrong with the fact that your parents can't discipline you, but the police can shoot you and get a raise and a promotion. There's something wrong with that. Now tell me, how many of you would prefer that your parents slap you than be here right now? Tell me. How many would prefer that their father knocked them out than be here right now? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We need to change the laws. Parents need to be able to put their foot in their kids' behind. If they were able to do that, you wouldn't be here. Research says that the reason that we're the most suspended, that we're the most expelled, that we're the least likely to graduate, that we're the least likely to go to college, that we're the least likely to finish college, that we're the most likely to be in the poverty level, the most likely to be in prison. The reason they say we're like that is because we lack what's called social and emotional development. That means that we don't like following rules. When we're told to walk the line, for some reason, somebody always wants to walk over here. When the teacher says, "May I have your attention, please? Could everybody be quiet?" For some reason, little Johnny decides he wants to keep talking. Social and emotional intelligence means that we lack the ability to respond properly to authority. We lack conflict resolution skills. Instead of being able to talk through our problems, we want to fight through our problems. We want to argue through our problems instead of explaining ourselves and listening to other people as they talk. The lack of social and emotional intelligence simply means that we lack organizational skills. We need to learn to control ourselves. When people talk to us, we need to learn to listen. When we're given rules, we should follow them. They always think, I'm not doing that, they ain't gonna hold me down. That's why you're gonna end up here. And guess what? If you continue to flout the rules, they got some more jails for you up the line. I'm saying to you today that you have to say to yourself, I want to change my life. But you have to say it. I want to change my life. I want to change my life. I want to change my life. Do you want to change your son? Do you want to change your life? Do you want to be different? Do you want to be someplace else? Do you want to have a successful life and drive a nice car and live in a beautiful home and have a wonderful wife and kids? Do you? Then you have to change your life. Do you want to have on some different clothes than you have on right now? Then you have to change your life. I'm saying to each and every one of you, it's within you to get yourselves out of this situation. Don't even put yourself in a position to let a judge determine whether you're in here or you're at home. White people have learned the rules, but for some reason we haven't. Let me give you a little tip about folks over 25 with a college education. Asians, 49% of Asians over age 25 in Los Angeles County have college degrees. Which means if you see two of them walking down the street, there's a good chance that one of them has a college degree. Whites, 47% of whites in Los Angeles County over age 25 have a college degree. Every two you find, one will have a college degree. African Americans, 11% of African Americans have college degrees. Only 5% of African American males have college degrees. Which means you got to pass 9.5 to get to a black man who has a college degree. Hispanics, 5%, male, female combined, have college degrees. That's why we make the least amount of money. We have the least per capita income per family. That's why black and brown own the fewest number of homes and end up too often in rental housing where we are subject to have to move and not be able to go to a school from kindergarten through high school, to be subject to disproportionate amount of our income going to our rent because of the instability of the situation. And the only way that dynamic will change is if you get an education. I'm not here today to put anybody down. I'm here today to say that when I was in college, my second semester, I was expelled from school. I could have got mad. I could have ran out and said, I hate the world and I'm an act a fool. But I buckled down and realized that in this society, black and brown males have few chances to succeed. You can go out there and act a fool if you want to, but they got something for you. I want you out of here. I want this to be a distant memory. When you walk out of this place, I want you to say to yourselves, I'm going to change my life. I will never see this place again. There's a greater future for you. And let me tell you something, men. There are so few of you that are achieving that you're in such high demand you don't even know it. The world is yours. Colleges are bending over backwards to bring in black and brown male students. They've lowered their entrance requirements and the grade point averages just to have a black and a brown face on campus so that white folk won't think that the world is just white. Try. Please try. When you're in your classroom, read. Learn to understand. And I went over my time. I apologize to you for this. But young people, I'm here to tell you today that your future is in your hands. Society is stacked against you. it is. But if you know that it is, then stop cussing at police officers. Stop getting out of the car saying, what you want? What you gonna do to me? He has an answer for you. And if you haven't figured out what that answer is, you better wake up. I live in Culver City, and my son was arrested when he was in high school for driving with something hanging from his mirror. He was arrested and went to jail. But before he was transferred to the county jail, I got a call from the mayor saying that my son was in jail, and if he apologized, he could go home. Now that was because I was the campaign manager for the mayor. But suppose I wasn't connected. Suppose I wasn't connected. It would have been a black boy in a cell, gone to county, before I knew what happened. I'm saying to you, don't give the police an opportunity to arrest you. Learn to be respectful, not just to them, but to yourself and to your family. Attitudes got most of you where you are today, not just your actions, but your attitude. I'm saying to you now, you got to change your life.